You know, that person in your life that whenever you end up around them, they just kind of irritate you. They don't seem to be irritating other people, but they're irritating you. Those people are our greatest teachers. They're our mirrors. They're there to show us what's going on within ourselves. So sit back and relax and enjoy the lesson on the fear behind the mask. Quantum Living, Week 2, Day 3. Fears wear many masks. When our greatest triggers become our greatest teachers. Have you ever met someone who instantly gets under your skin? Maybe they're critical or controlling, negative, arrogant, needy. Or maybe they just simply remind you of someone from your past. Everyone else seems unaffected, but something inside you immediately reacts. Have you ever wondered why? What if the people who trigger us the most aren't just challenging us? What if they're also inviting us to heal? Today, we're going to discover why fear wears many masks and how every trigger can become an opportunity to awaken. Welcome back. Welcome back to Quantum Living. Yesterday we discovered the incredible power of becoming the observer. We learned that there is a space between every trigger and every response. That space is where freedom lives. Today we're going to take another step. We're going to look beyond behavior and begin seeing the fear that often hides beneath it. Before we begin, remember this. Quantum living isn't information, it's transformation. Transformation doesn't happen because you watch another video. It happens because you practice. So today, don't just listen, practice. Today you'll discover why fear is often hidden beneath difficult behavior, how your greatest triggers can become your greatest teachers, why judgment keeps us stuck while curiosity creates healing, how to respond with wisdom without abandoning healthy boundaries, a simple practice of turning triggers into transformation. Teaching. Fear rarely introduces itself by saying, "Hello, I'm fear." Instead, it wears disguises. Sometimes fear looks like anger. Sometimes it looks like criticism. Sometimes it looks like control. Sometimes it looks like perfectionism. Sometimes it looks like people-pleasing. And sometimes it looks like silence. Every behavior serves a purpose. A controlling person may be trying to create safety. A critical person may have learned that criticism was the only way to feel significant. An angry person may be protecting a deeply wounded heart. A people pleaser may believe love must be earned. The observer asks a different question. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with them?" the observer asks, "What might they be afraid of?" Understanding doesn't excuse harmful behavior. Compassion doesn't eliminate healthy boundaries. But understanding frees you from carrying resentment. Now, Let's turn the mirror gently towards ourselves. Have you noticed that some people's behavior barely affects you, while someone else's behavior stays with you for days? That difference matters. When someone triggers a strong emotional reaction, pause before blaming or judging yourself. Ask instead, what is this reaction inviting me to notice? Maybe you're being invited to strengthen a boundary. Maybe an old wound is asking for compassion. Maybe you're discovering a fear you've been carrying. Maybe you're recognizing a story you've believed about yourself for years. The trigger becomes a doorway, not a punishment, a doorway. One of the practices in quantum living is asking gentle questions. If someone constantly criticizes you, ask, where have I been criticizing myself? If someone controls every situation, ask, where am I trying to control my life because I don't feel safe? If rejection hurts deeply, ask, where have I rejected a part of myself? These questions aren't about blame. They're about awareness. Not every difficult relationship is a mirror, but every difficult relationship is an opportunity to become more conscious. Healing begins when curiosity becomes stronger than judgment. One of the most powerful moments I've witnessed, both in my own life and with my clients, is when someone stops trying to win the battle. Instead of proving they're right, instead of trying to change another person, they become curious. They ask, what is this experience trying to teach me? That single question changes everything, because growth begins the moment we stop resisting the lesson. The people who challenge us most often become our unexpected teachers, not because they're right, but because they invite us to become more aware, more compassionate, and more free. Today, every trigger becomes an invitation. Whenever someone upsets you, pause, observe, take a slow breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What fear might be beneath their behavior? What is this moment inviting me to learn? What would my higher self choose? Then simply notice. No fixing, no judging, just awareness. Go ahead and close your eyes if it's safe to do so, and take a slow, deep breath in and gently exhale. Again, breathing in peace and breathing out judgment. Imagine yourself walking along the road ahead. You arrive at your sacred garden. Your higher self welcomes you with a smile. Ahead of you stands someone who has often triggered you. Today, you do not argue. You do not defend. You simply observe. Notice their face. Notice their posture. Now imagine gently looking beyond the mask they wear, beyond the anger, beyond the control, beyond the criticism. You begin to see fear, not to excuse their behavior, but to understand their humanity. Now turn your attention towards yourself. Place your hand over your heart. Ask quietly, what within me is asking to be healed? Trust whatever arises. Now, surround both yourself and the other person in a warm golden light. Silently repeat, I release judgment. I choose understanding. I honor my boundaries. I reclaim my peace. I choose love without losing myself. Take one final breath, and as you leave the garden, carry these words with you. Pause. Observe. Understand. Choose. Here are some journal questions. Who triggered you today? What fear might have been beneath their behavior? What did this experience reveal about you? What part of yourself right now needs compassion? What changed when you chose observation instead of reaction? What did one of your greatest triggers teach you about yourself today? Share your thoughts in the comment. Your insight may become someone else's breakthrough. If today's lesson spoke to your heart, I'd love to invite you to continue this journey with us. Please subscribe and like this video and share it with someone who needs this message. I've created a free Week 2, Day 3 reflection worksheet to help you continue today's practice. Simply email me at bethanyorrick@gmail.com. Use the subline, Week 2, Worksheet 3, and I'd be honored to send it to you. Remember, quantum living isn't something we simply learn. It's something we live. Today you discovered that fear often hides beneath behavior. Tomorrow we'll explore something even more powerful. We'll learn how to release judgment and transform unhealthy emotional cords into relationships where love, compassion, and freedom can flow. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Bethany Orrick. This is Quantum Living. Stay curious, stay conscious, and remember, pause, observe, understand, choose. You don't have to master this today. Just notice one trigger, one moment of curiosity, One choice to respond from your higher self instead of your old programming. That's how the brain changes. That's how the heart heals. That's how we become free. That's quantum living. Walk gently, love deeply, protect your peace, and keep choosing the road ahead.